Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is April 19th, 2026. Hope everyone's had a fabulous weekend. Let me make sure I am going live in the right place, on the right page. Yes, can you hear me? That is the next question. I'm going live. Yep, okay. Looks like I'm straight. Technology, everything's going well. Thank the Lord Jesus. If you're scrolling through the Facebook world and you see me on and the live blinky buttons going, stop by, say hi. You've caught me live. If not, just type replay in the comments and that way I know you stopped by and you watched. If you have any questions, feel free to put those in the comments below. I look at all the comments, so just holler at me if you need anything. We are going to be using the Gliding Garden Swing. This was a bundle that I was really excited about, and I was saving it for Mother's Day. So, of course, that means it has a chance for going on the last chance list, and yes, it did, and the stamp set is already sold out, but that's okay because the dies are still there, and the dies are what makes this set. So you really don't need the stamp set. It does have a couple of great sayings. Hang in there, sending sunshine, congratulations on your new home, happy retirement. But you don't have to have it to make the card, because all I used in today's card was the dies to this set, which are fabulous. I'm going to go over a lot of that. Hi Mom, how are you? And I actually pulled a sentiment from an old stamp set because I wanted one that would fit specifically in that spot. So, but it opens up like this. So the swing is free. It can swing back and forth, which was the purpose of today's card. So I hope you guys like the interactive card. Before we get to the card, and I have a couple of different options on this, so stay tuned. Let me go over some housekeeping, some stuff that I kind of talk about every live, but I just want to make sure if we've got new people that they know Stampin' Up! Has something for everyone. We have three different levels of creativity. We have our kits, which are our step-by-step instructions. We have our quick and easy options, which is the mix and match section, which you don't need a whole bunch of supplies, but everything in that section coordinates and is meant to work together. But you can just mix them and match them and make them your own cards. So it's kind of an in-between. And then we have level 3, which is creativity, your own way, anything goes. Basically, you pick out a great paper, a great stamp, die set, and you just let your creativity run wild. So, back to the level 1, the step-by-step kits. So Stampin' Up! Comes out with 2 kits every month. These can be found at stampinup.com. They are in the brown boxes. These are constantly rotating in and out, and that's why in our catalog we do show off a couple of them, but one may not be released yet, or it might be soon to be, or so just check online. That is the best place to shop online because you can see everything there. You can see our last chance discounted products, all of our kits. The other kit that we have is the scrapbooking. So we've got stuff for card making and for scrapbooking. The scrapbooking is called a scrapbooking workshop kit. Everything comes in this kit to make these 3 2-page layouts, so total of 6 pages. Everything that you need is in there, all your paper, everything except for your adhesive. Now in our card boxes, everything's in there, even your adhesive. You can literally take these kits camping, to a kid's after school activity, a practice, a soccer game, a basketball game, and put these kits together if you wanted. Everything's right there. Now we also offer a monthly subscription kit called Paper Pumpkin. These are kind of a surprise to us each month. We get little sneak peeks so we kind of know what's coming, but they want it to be a surprise. It's like Christmas every month. You get them mailed to you, and then when you open it up and put it together, it's kind of a surprise, a nice little treat. So the one that is coming, that is on its way to my house, is the Lakeside Retreat, which I'm very excited about. That will be our first video for the month of May when I start my Father's Day series. It kind of goes with a pack of paper called Waterside Retreat that I will be showing throughout the month of May as well. So they play nicely together. They go great hand in hand. They make some wonderful Father's Day and masculine birthday cards. So the sneak peeks for the next couple of months on the Paper Pumpkin. The one that we're in right now is April 11th through May 10th. It's called Sparkling Celebrations. I think this window die is going to be really fun. Looks like it opens up. I like the ombre effect of the night sky. I'm not sure about the Chinese lanterns thing, but we'll see. Usually the kit has 9 cards, 3 of 3 different designs. So I may not need those Chinese lanterns at all, but we'll see. The one for May 11th through June 10th is called Bike and Blooms. I think this will be really cute. There's a sneak peek of a Have a Lovely Day sentiment, I'm guessing, is what it says. There are some foil butterfly embellishments, which we've had some gold ones like this that I really loved. Flowers are always great. The bike thing, you could do several things like enjoy the journey, or there are several different sayings for bikes. So that should be a fun one. Speaking of Paper Pumpkin, I know last month I said that the kit was kind of blah. It didn't have a lot of color in it. I wasn't very excited about it. So I thought I could maybe add some colored cardstock to it and see what I could come up with. And you guys, this was Fluttering Garden, and it had grays and a light pool party. Really the only coloring in this was the hummingbirds. Instead of making 9 cards, I pulled in some pretty colored cardstock, and I ended up with 21 cards. Let me just show you, by just adding a little pop of color, there were 3 of those cards that I made, 2 of this. Here's a different one, kind of the same, Pretty Peacock. Here is some Petal Pink. I made a couple of those. I did go ahead and use some of the gray cardstock, but I colored the flowers to bring some color into it and kind of made it a fun fold where it pops up like this, kind of an easel card. So made a couple of those. I was really excited about this kit, and then when I got it to my door I was kind of bummed. So, but that's okay, because I turned it into something even better. I did go ahead and use some of the pool party and the gray just to make a few of the cards a little bit more softer. They're pretty. They turned out great. There was another one of those. Here are some that could be for any occasion. I didn't put any sentiments on it at all, but there are those gold brushed butterflies that I was just talking about. And then a couple of thank you cards So I ended up with more cards than the 9. I ended up with 21 cards and really cute cards. So just because you didn't get something that you thought you were going to love, it turned out even better and I loved it even more. So just keep that in mind. Even though it's a sneak peek, I've never gotten one that I haven't been able to turn around, I guess is the best word. So I don't think you can go wrong with either one of the monthly kits, Paper Pumpkin or the other ones. So that is our kits and our Paper Pumpkin. Let me put that to the side. Product of the month, anytime you spend over $75, you get a certain item that Stampin' Up! Has come out with that month for $5. The product of the month for this month, for April, is this huge eyelet blooms die. So it is bigger than a card front, but it is a die. It's $5. So if you're putting in a $75 order or more, you might as well go ahead and pick this up for $5. If you don't like it, I know you're going to be able to sell it and make money off of it. So they paired it with the Sunshine and Tulips bundle, which I used last month. So if friends were flowers, I would pick you. I think that's a great saying for that die. And they just use that as the focal image. There has been a lot of talk about this die, about there being a lot of pieces and it not cutting all the way through. A trick, a tip, run it through like you normally would, face down on your cardstock. And then before you undo the whole stack, flip it over and run it upside down. So you're running it through twice, downside and then upside, you're just flipping it. And then use your take your pick tool with the brush end and on the back of the die and get all those little bitty pieces out. I think it'll work great for you. So just a little tip there. I know I've said several times that Stampin' Up! Offers more than just crafting supplies. We do offer retreats, album retreats for scrapbooking, card retreats, card classes, scrapbook classes. They are virtual, they are online. They usually set up a private Facebook page that you have access to. Normally they're offering one at all times. Currently, for the month of April, it is a week and a half away. It's April 29th through May 1st from 2 to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. And this is a album scrapbook retreat. You're going to make 10 layouts, 10 two-page layouts, so a total of 20 pages. It's $250 for all your supplies for your kit, for your private Facebook group. It is 21 hours of instruction time, so there's a lot involved in that retreat. And if you can't do it those days at those times, it is something that you can always come back to. However, half the fun is being able to interact with everybody. But you'll learn a lot of tips, tricks, and techniques. So if that's something you're interested, let me know and I can give you more information on it. I know March was a long ways away and we're almost into May, which, speaking of May, here is a sneak peek of the online exclusive. If you love Winnie the Pooh, this one's for you. It is a mega suite. Comes with 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets, an embossing folder. But the paper is amazing. You don't have to order it all. You can order it separate. But I'm just letting you know. One of the stamps and die sets are the sentiment and the little label. So there's lots of different labels and lots of sentiments. The other stamp and die set are the characters. It stamps them and cuts them out. And it also coordinates with the paper, so if you don't want to stamp it, you can just use the die cuts and cut out the characters out of the paper. And you guys, the paper does not disappoint. I cannot open this up and show you the paper, but if you're a Winnie the Pooh lover, May 1st, just right around the corner, keep your eyes opened. May 5th, our new catalog goes live. So be on the lookout for that as well. Talking about I can't open it. If you need a hard copy, want a hard copy, and you're here local, let me know. I've got plenty. They're $1.50 a piece. Or if you've put in an order with me in the last 6 months, they're free. So just reach out to me. I'll set yours aside. 1st of May, May 5th, I'll be able to open this up. It goes live and show you the inside, and we'll do a walkthrough. So stay tuned for that. So both of those are coming up in May. What is going out is this mini catalog ends the first part of May, and this annual catalog ends. A lot of this stuff has gone over to the last chance list. A lot of it has already sold out. But if there was something on your list that you did not get, run over there, do not walk, and check it out. I'm going to be talking about a couple of those things that are on the last chance list that you don't want to miss out on. So, I'll be showing them today. So again, online is the best place to shop because you won't miss out on anything. It'll have all of the last chance discounted items, all of the kits. So, if you need anything, holler at me. And again, March, a whole bunch of online items went live. So, a lot of them have been sold out. They are trying to get them back in. A lot of them come back in the week of April 27th, so that last week of April. So, stay tuned. Keep your eyes open if you have wanted some of that you just can't get your hands on. Okay, I think that is, oh nope, there's one other thing. Okay, so card class, if you're local, the May card class is going to be on May 16th. It is the weekend that is smack dab after Mother's Day weekend, before Memorial Day weekend. It was really the only weekend of May that I could do a card class. It is going to be a manly class, a Father's Day themed class. So it's $15. Here are the 3 cards that we're making. This is a bridge card. It uses the Peaceful Pier, which did go to the last chance list and is already sold out. Along with the Waterside Retreat paper. So we're going to make that. Here is a new stamp and die that goes live May 5th called Barbecue Master. So if there's a person in your life, a man in your life that loves to grill, this would make a great Happy Father's Day or a happy birthday. But kind of a cool, fun fold card. And then this uses the Nature Walk stamp and die set. So it's just a really cute, manly foliage card. So here are the 3 cards again that I am offering for the May Card Club class that is on May 16th. You have from now until April 30th, that's the deadline, to tell me if you want to come. And you can pay $15 and walk out of the class with just your 3 cards. Or if you want to buy Stampin' Up! Supplies, then if you put in a $15 order with me as your demonstrator, you get this card class for free. So either way works for me. It's whatever works best for you. So again, April 30th is the deadline. If you're local and you're interested, please let me know. And if you ever want to be on my mailing list, my email list, send me an email at soonerfanedmond@gmail.com. So Sooner, SOONER, fan, FAN, Edmond, EDMOND, @gmail.com. I'll see your email. I'll add you onto my email list and send that out to you every month. I try to only send out one email per month, unless there's a new catalog that goes live or something that I just think you need to know, then I'll send out maybe 2 emails. But I try not to just bombard people with emails. Okay, now that is all the chatting. Let's get to crafting this beautiful card. And like I said, I've got a lot of neat tips and tricks for you. Okay, take a drink. So, first of all, if you just want to do a normal card, you can do it like this. I've used the arch dies and the Stampin' Cut embossed dies for the gliding garden swing dies. However, my upline, Rhonda, made this cute little stage card. So you could do it this way too. And I'm going to give you the measurements for this. This is just your normal, typical, standard card. I'll give you the measurements for this card. But this is a neat little twist on it, and I think that was just amazing. I would have done this card on the Facebook Live, other than I didn't want to do exactly what she had done, so I did a twist on it. So you'll have to tell me which one you like better. Another thought or idea is, you know how I love sceneries, scenes, and the Thoughtful Journey and the Splendid Autumn were 2 paper packs that came out last year that I just loved. I have used the you-know-what out of these card packs, and these card packs would make very easy scene cards with this. I'm going to show you a few examples. These are both on the last chance list. So again, if this is something that you are interested, that you want, run, don't walk to get this. These are going to sell out. So this one I think is the normal price, and this one is like half price. So I think this one is $7.50 for the pack of paper, which you get 48 sheets. This one is $12.50, I think, still. Or it might be the other way around. But anyway, one of these is like half price. So, and what I mean by, before I do that, I also wanted to show off, because these pack of papers are the scene pack of papers, it is probably why I fell in love with the new Scenic Coast pack of paper. I love sunsets, I love oceans, so I know as soon as I saw this in the catalog, I was like, oh, that's me right there. So just remember and think of how many cards that you can make and what you would be able to do with this pack of paper. This is new and will be in the May catalog when it goes live May 5th. So, and this pack of paper I showed on my Facebook Live unboxing video last weekend does have a foiling. Hopefully you can see that on each sheet. So it's got this wonderful reflection in the water of that sunset. And each one of those papers do that. And then on the back of these papers is just kind of a subtle, you know, it doesn't have a scene on it, it just has a pattern, which that would make great waves. So you could put a sailboat on that, or more to come on that. I'm going to be showcasing that suite of products. I fell in love with it and had to have it. But getting back to this, because I don't want to get too off track. So with these papers, you could easily create, I've just cut some of these already. Like for instance, here's one. So typical half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, scored in half, folded in half. You could put this on here, and then I'll show off more of these dies here in a second, but you would just take your little tree die, add to the side, take your little swing die, put that on here. There's a little side table die in this die set right here that you can put a little side table over here, and you've got your card. You don't have to do a whole lot to it because of this paper. So there are several of these papers that you can use with the, what I'm going to call sky in the background and the ground on the bottom. And then you can put your tree and your swing and you have a card. I mean, again, there's some prairie grass, your sky, put the tree. Hopefully that makes sense. So don't forget, and this, I know you look at that and you're like, okay, Shauna, I got the other ones, but I don't get that one. Okay, follow me. You've got your grass. This is the sunset going down, so your sun. And then you've got your tree and your swing. And of course, you might also want to pull this down a little bit. I think I had to do that on this one. I pulled the tree down. Oh, let me get my paper all sorted a little bit so that your swing would hang down low enough to where you could still see that sunset in the back. And then you're just going to chop off your tree on the top and the bottom to make it fit your card size. So those were the Thoughtful Journey ones. Speaking of the Thoughtful Journey, I'm going to come back to this piece in just a second because I'm going to show you another tip and trick on this pack of paper. I know my focus was not supposed to be on the pack of paper, but I do want to show you guys something. So I think this one right here would be, again, same idea. Put your tree, you've already got your grass, put your swing, maybe a little potted plant. I mean, you could create some gorgeous cards by just using this paper pack, these paper packs. So don't forget, you know, anything that's got your sky, your ground. These are just a few that I pulled out. So, and again, on this one, you might want to pull your swing down a little bit and your tree down a little bit to make it. You don't want your feet hanging way off the ground. You know what I mean? You want it to look natural. So if your ground is way down here, you would probably want to pull down your tree and your swing. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so enough about these papers. Hopefully that gave you some idea, but don't forget about the scene paper packs because there are a multitude of different ways that you can create a card very easily, very fast by using those pattern papers. I wanted to show you, here's one that's out of that Thoughtful Journey, and I know I'm kind of getting away from this, but I wanted to talk about this real quick. You could take a stamp and stamp on this paper as well. This is the Peaceful Pier. It did, again, go to the last chance list, and it's already sold out, of course. When I tell you guys to run and not walk, I literally mean go. Because once things hit the last chance list, they sell out really fast. But look at this card. This is this piece of paper. I used this stamp right here to stamp some trees in the background, and then I stamped this pier right here, colored it with my blends, and you're done. But anyway, don't forget about these scenery pieces of paper that you can stamp on or put die cuts with and make beautiful cards in minutes, because that background is already done for you. That ink blending is already done for you. Okay. Back to this. So let me give you the dimensions on this card before we get started. So this is just, it's called a stage card because it sits up like this, kind of like a stage. Like you have the back of your stage and then you have your curtains, the middle of the stage. So this, well, I'm going to cut this for you. So let's put this other card off to the side real quick. I'm going to show you this card because it comes together really easily. So this card is cut at 4 1/4 by 7 1/2, which this is an 8 1/2 piece of paper. So I'm just going to cut off an inch of it and I'll have 7 1/2. You follow me? Okay. So now it's 7 1/2 wide by 4 1/4 long. We are going to score it at 1 inch and 2 inch on each side. So there's 1, I'm going to flip it around, do my 2, do my 1, and I mean, you could do it this way. It's just easier. The 1 inch sometimes is easier to do on the other side for me because I can hold on to my paper a little bit better. But you could do 1 and then scoot it over and do 2. It's just whatever works best for you on your trimmer. Okay. So again, piece of paper, 7 1/2 long, 4 1/4 wide. We scored at 1, 2 on this side, flipped it, rotated it, scored it at 1 and 2 on this side. You take your bone folder, fold it, burnish it on both of those score lines. On both sides. You didn't know that you guys were going to be getting 2 cards for the price of 1, did you? I kind of left that part out, so if you're watching, it's just a bonus for you. But I loved this card so much. So again, Rhonda, if you're watching, thank you for sharing this, because I didn't want to create your card because you already created it. So I didn't want to steal and copy everything. So I made mine a little bit different, but I really love this card. So this is kind of what you get. The next thing you do is you take your paper and you're going to take a strip, a band that is 1 inch wide by 5 1/2 long. And I took a green for the grass and then a blue for the sky. This blue paper actually came out of this paper pack, this Splendid Autumn paper pack. It's this blue piece right here. It's on, that's the back. So I'm going to show you how I cut that, because that's a 6 by 6 piece of paper. So what I did was I cut an inch. So 1 inch wide by 4 1/4 long for each side. And then here's the piece in the middle. This measures 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. We're not going to put this card together, but I wanted to show you kind of how I cut my paper. And of course I cut it to where, not that it would matter on this piece of paper so much, but that it all flows. If there were design on your paper, you would want it to go from one end to the other. You wouldn't want to cut this piece here and then this piece here and then do the middle piece. You want it to flow. Hopefully that makes sense. But again, 1 inch by 5 1/2, and you would take this and you would glue it down here after you'd put your side piece on, of course. And then you're going to take that and glue it there. So you're going to, this is really kind of hard to show you and not glue it down. But butt that up there. Butt this up here. And that's kind of what gives you this round instead of square, rounded stage look. And then the top piece is this piece right here. So again, if you look at this card, you can see I've cut the sky on each side. I've taken this sky on the top piece right here, and I've taken this green right here for the grass. And that is what makes your card kind of bend and bow. You can still fold it flat, put it in an envelope to mail. And then really all you're left from this piece of paper is this little strip on the top, this little side piece, and this little side piece. So you'll have those as extras because all you're using for the sky are those pieces right there. And really the rest of it is just die cutting all these images. And these die cuts are amazing. So let me show you that. Okay. Here was the stamp set that I used for my Happy Mother's Day. It was from Tea Together, which is a stamp set from a long time ago, but I really wanted something that would fit right there. Now I have not put a sentiment on this one because this could easily be a happy birthday, a thinking of you, just wanted to spend time with you card. It doesn't have to be a Mother's Day card. On this one, you could write your sentiment on the back or even create a flap right here. And when I say that, I just mean, you know, cut this down and make this where it folds over, just like a card on the back of a card. So, but some tips and tricks for this one. Again, like I said, I used the arch dies. So these dies right here, I used the second to biggest. And you're going to take your 3 pieces of paper, and I know that sounds funny, but your sky paper, your grass paper, and your normal card front. So again, half of a sheet of 8.5 by 11, scored in the middle, in the half. You're going to take this and you're going to layer all your pieces up so that they all match. You're going to put your die on here, center it, of course, and you're going to run this whole thing back and forth through your die cut machine. And what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that this arch, this window, is the same size on all 3 of these pieces. Because when you go to put your card together, you're going to cut off a little piece of this grass. Like, you're not going to use the whole green part of the arch. You're just going to cut off a little piece of the grass and layer that on top of your blue sky. So you've got your white piece that it cut. When you put this through all 3 pieces, it cut out your white arch, right? And then it cut out your sky arch. You're going to glue that together. And then you're going to take your green arch and you're just going to cut off a little bit of the bottom for the grass. And because you sent this all the way through at the same time, they're all going to line up very nicely. So it leaves you with this. And I know this is a different style Facebook Live than I normally do, that I'm doing a lot of talking and not a lot of making the card from beginning to end, and I apologize, but I wanted to show you a variety of ways that you could, you know, make the card. So really all that it's left is just taking your die cuts. Where's my silicone? You definitely want to use your silicone sheet because you're going to do a lot of gluing of small parts, which is, again, kind of the reason why I'm not going to be putting a lot of this card together in front of you, because I think it would probably bore you guys, because you know how to die cut everything. So I'm going to line this up right here on the edge of my paper. I've got some adhesive hanging off the edge. I want to come back in here and make sure that I don't have any adhesive. I'm going to roll that back on my fingers, which is a great reason why I love tape runner adhesive, because if you used your wet glue, your green capped mono Tombow adhesive glue, you can't really do that. You're going to take your paper snips and just snip off the top of that tree, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to glue this down right here so that your tree stays glued down. Now you can use this one, or if you don't know, I've pulled this out a couple of times. I don't use it very often, but this is called the Fine Tip Glue Pen. It's item number 138309. This is a great glue for little itty bitty pieces. It's got this nice little tip that does not clog, because this goes into this when you close it up. So you're just going to figure out, like, I'm going to put some glue right here in this middle big part and this part right here. So I'm going to take this and put some glue, and I mean just dab it. It does not, I'm going to lay that down, hold it for a second. I'm going to close up my glue. The hardest part is getting that back in the little metal thing. So I've glued both of those down, and then again I'm just going to come back over here and go snip snip off these branches that are hanging off. Now if you're not melling the card, you might want to leave those little pieces on there. So up to you. Come on. Little piece hanging on for life. Okay. So this is not Stampin' Up, but I don't know where I got it. I've had it forever, or I don't think it's Stampin' Up. But I have this really pretty flower border die. So just a tip and trick. I took a piece of green paper, a piece of, so garden green, flirty flamingo, petal pink, and I put the adhesive sheet on the back and ran it through. on 2 of these, on the green piece and the Flirty Flamingo piece. This piece I did not, so this is not sticky, because I don't want, when you close your card and this is on the background, I didn't want this stuff to stick to the inside of your card, because these flowers are showing. But if you use these adhesive sheets, it's going to make your life a lot easier. And what I've done, I'm not going to make you watch me put all of this together, because it's a lot and it takes a long time. So I went through here. I'm going to show you how I did it though. Went through here and I cut off the tops of all my pretty flowers, because really all I wanted was the stems. I wanted the green part with the grass. And you know, there's 2 ways to skin a cat. So to me, this was just the easiest way, and this is kind of where my brain went. Then what I did was I put this on top of this because it layers nicely. And because you used your adhesive sheet, it's already sticky and it just sticks down. You don't have to mess with glue. And then I came in here and I thought, I want the tulips to be this Flirty Flamingo, but I want these little, what am I call, daisies, I guess. I want those to be in the petal pink. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to cut down or cut off each one of the little daisy. And then again, because I've used the adhesive on there, this one's already sticky, so I'm going to layer that on top of this so that I can have my 2 different colors of flowers. And this is all going to stick down on top of each other once you get it all glued down with that adhesive strip. And then again, I'm going to layer the green on top of this for the stem part. That's how I made this right here. And you can kind of from the side see the pink showing through on the stems. That didn't bother me. And then I also came in, you know, it's all in the details. How detailed do you want to get? I took a small little hole punch that I have. I mean, just itty bitty. I don't know what size that is. But I cut out a whole bunch, or punched out a whole bunch of these little Daffodil Delight little punch holes. And I took those and I put those in the center of my petal pink flowers so that I could tie in the flower with the pillow. Now I only did 1 pillow on this swing. I did 2 pillows on this. I also was going for more of a white, simple, elegant, whereas this to me is more of a manly swing. So a couple of different looks. And you can also, I tucked this flower in under, in between, I should say, this green piece and the white piece. So the grass is actually tucked between those 2 layers, whereas on this one, I just took it and stretched it all the way across. And I kind of think I like it better stretched all the way across because it kind of runs in front of the tree instead of hiding behind the tree. So again, Couple of different looks, couple of different ways that you can do it. 2 ways to skin a cat. But that's how I did this flower part. Hopefully that makes sense. It's going to take me a long time to sit here and do that, and I don't want to bore you guys with that. I almost did not do this card for a Facebook Live because of the, I don't want to say tediousness, but it is a lot of little pieces and a lot of running it through the die cut machine, gluing it all down. Time consuming. But sometimes it's just worth it. So let's talk about these dies. Again, the stamp set itself went to the last chance list. It's sold out. You can no longer get it. But the dies, to me, I don't think you need the stamp set. The dies, to me, are amazing. Let's talk about some of these dies. So you can see on this pillow all the detail, like it's got your little crunch fold that you know, karate chop it there in the middle so you get that little bend. And then also has, you could do a plain pillow if you wanted, or it's got this little bitty piece. Let me see if I can find my little tool here. It's got this little bitty piece that you can put in the middle to put this little arrow detail in it. So when you run it through your die, you're just gonna put both of these pieces in there and run it through your die. So you can get a plain pillow or a detailed look on your pillow. The same with your flower pot. So you've got your flower pot down here with this little piece in the middle to give you some detail on your flower pot. And I did it, so here's the detailed flower pot and the original flower pot. Hopefully you can see that. Another thing that I think is really cool is the lines on the tree. That is so detailed. It's not, they don't line up so it doesn't cut or tear, but that does go through all the way. I mean, you could definitely like slide a piece of paper through. Let me see if I can tell you what I mean. Through that. So it cuts all the way through, but because these lines are not the way they've done it, it doesn't tear through your tree. So it gives you a lot of dimension on your tree. So another thing I wanted to talk about was this flower pot. You can tell that I've done a shrub here. So here's the little shrub, and you've got this little die right here. Oh, come on out. That will cut out these little roses or flower buds that you can stick on your tree, or I'm trying to grab them. Bear with me a second. Let me grab my little take your pick tool with the gummy end. Okay. You also have this long piece right here, which is this. See, it fits in there. So you can take this, put some leaves on your tree, and then it also cuts out these little pieces. There's 3 of them. Because again, it's all in the details. So how detailed do you want this card to be? You can spend a lot of time doing a lot of stuff. You can take these so I've got that on there. I'm going to take a dimensional pop dot and pop these up. and then layer these on top of here. So do like a tone on tone, or if you wanted to do this in a lighter color, you could, and it would really pop. But pop those up, and now you've got these really defined leaves. So these are the ones in the back that you can't see, but all the definition, and then these are the pieces that have all these little cutouts. You could go in here, you could pop these up, you know, pull these up a little bit and make them really stand out. Again, how much time do you want to spend on it? But see how those pop out? You can get that extra dimension right there. And you could put leaves on there. You could also, instead of doing your shrub like this with this one piece, you could take these pieces and stack them up and use this on your little pot and make your little potted shrub that way, which is what I did on this one. So I've just stacked up 3 of those, and on this one I used the actual shrub. Another thing you can do, these are here for 2 reasons. So these are the little pieces, the little strings that hold up your swing. So you can use them like that, or if you don't want the itty bitty little pieces, you can use the big fat pieces on this die right here. But then you can also use these to make your little pot into hanging pieces. I'm not going to be able to show you very well. Here, let me pull this in. So like if I wanted, you could put one on this side and then take this one and put it on this side, and that's going to be your little strings to hang up your hanging flower pot. And again, like I said, it's got this little side table that you could put over here. We've had some little cups with lemonade that you could put on your table. That's not in this die set. Actually, I take that back. There is a little pitcher right here and a little cup. You could put your little pitcher of lemonade or tea, your cup sitting on this table. You can also not make this into a swing at all. There's these 2 little pieces right here that you can make as legs and make this into a bench. So not even use it as a swing. This right here is your detailed part of the swing. So the light brown crumb cake part. So you could use this with those 2 legs and just make a bench. The only other die on here that I haven't talked about are these viney things right here. Now in Florida, they have a lot of trees that these vines hang down off of. It's kind of like moss growing on a tree. Here in Oklahoma, we don't see a lot of that. So I did not cut out any of this, but you could also use these as decorative pieces. I know a lot of people who have swings. You could use that as like little, ours would be fake here in Oklahoma. It wouldn't be real, but like little vines holding up your swing. So you could use that for that as well. So again, it's all in the details. How detailed do you want to get? But this set of dies, this gliding garden swing dies, item number 167136, is amazing. I mean, I just can't say that enough. So hopefully these have given you plenty of ideas on how to use the dies and how to make a card. And again, I gave you the dimensions to, sorry, I want to put this back on so I don't lose it. Cannot lose the dies. And I always have mine just on little magnetic sheets, but do you want to do the stage card, which I just think is amazing, or if you just want to make a little normal card? Either way, both of these are free. They can swing back and forth, so it is kind of an interactive card. Lots of little bitty pieces, and I think that would make a great Mother's Day card or friend card, just thinking of you card, so that you could sit on the swing and just talk and have a drink and enjoy each other's company. All right, guys, I know I did not put a card together, which is normally not how my Facebook Lives go, but I've given you the dimensions. I've shown you how to do it. I'm going to finish this card off, and we'll see you back here next weekend on Saturday, April 25th. Sunday, I have a birthday party. So Saturday at 11 a.m., April 25th, and we will be doing our last Mother's Day card. We'll be wrapping up our Mother's Day series. I'm going to go back to this lovely and beautiful designer series paper. We're going to make this card right here. The front of it's really easy. We used the perennial postage dies, but the inside, guys, are you ready? Ba-bam! That is the fun, interactive part of this card. So make sure you come back next weekend so you'll learn how to do that. And I'll actually put this card together from beginning to end, I promise. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here next Saturday at 11 a.m. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.